Hello guys, welcome to today's stream. So glad you guys have joined me today. Hello Brown, how are you? Hi Rin, thank you again so much for your help yesterday. I had a brief look into trying to get the stream a little bit more optimized, but didn't spend a lot of time on it last night because yeah, it just got very late, so probably will have a look this weekend and see if I can do anything about it. But I have a feeling I'm gonna have to try and save up for a better computer, unfortunately. Hello, Dark Guy. Good morning. You're up and ready. How's it going? What have you been up to of late? So today I'm going to continue working on little Humpty over here, and hopefully we can also resolve the rest of the composition. So I'm gonna have to zoom out eventually, but for now I'm just gonna work on little Humpty and hopefully, we can get him done. Good. Thankfully, mixed up your sleep patterns for now. Thankfully? Why is that? Oh, fixed up your sleep patterns. I misread that. That's a lot better. Well, that's good. That's really good. How have things been with you, Dark Guy? How is that new job offer and everything going? A mod buddy, how's it going? Yeah, Rin's been a huge help since she's been modded, so really, really grateful to have her here with us. There's no worries, there's a time. You're alright, somebody got in first, so you're still trying. Oh, that's not good. They missed out. You missed out on being able to hire you. But you know what? I always see it as opportunities that don't work out, probably aren't meant to be. And more often than not, those opportunities, in hindsight, when I look back at them, I'm more often than not, I'm happy that they never panned out. Sometimes it happens for a reason. Oh my goodness! Proudly Radical, thank you for the raid of 43. Oh my goodness, Mr. Sir, you're still trying to get a raid? What do you mean? Oh wow, thank you so much. Thanks for the shout out as well. Really appreciate that raid, Proudly Radical. What were you working on? Please go ahead and share some of your work. I'd love to have a look. See if I can, hang on. Gotta try and see if I can share your work. Do you have an Instagram page you could share with us? Thank you for the follow, Astri and Revroth. Really appreciate that. So what were you working on, Proudly Radical? Yep, Mr. Sir promoted me. You're a politics streamer. You do anarchist advocacy and education. Well, I'm very open-minded to anarchy myself, so definitely glad that you rated us. What were you discussing today? Please share some of your delightful conversations with us. KAI, a hardcore tanky sent you. What's a hardcore tanky? Don't know what that is. Thank you for the follow, RV78. Really appreciate that. Welcome. So what brought you to the art section of Twitch? Proudly Radical. What made you come here? Just the fact that Mr. Sir shouted us out, or do you often scout the art sections as well? You love this lovely egg boy. My Humpty Dumpty has such soft and life-filled cheeks. The shading is splendid. Thank you. Thank you, comrade. It's actually part of a more extensive storybook. I can show you. Give me a second. So we're slowly working on tons and tons of different pages for this book. So, oh, your name is Kai, and Guillotine was making a joke. You're a fan of creators and makers. So what is it that you really stream then? He won't tell you, but Kai is also a writer and does 3D printing. Oh, that's pretty cool. You should show me your 3D printing. I would love to see that. True that, keep it chill and everything will be alright. You two are an artist, though you thought not good at drawing or painting. So what do you most often like to work on? This here was some of my concept sketches. So we did Humpty sort of falling down. Hang on, I don't have any music on, do I? That is really strange. Hang on, just give me 1 second. See if that works. Awesome, we've got some music on. Finally. No, in fact, you are in fact a politics streamer and do anarchist advocacy. You covered a lot of ground, headlines, touch of theory, video games, and many more. As you said, lots of ground covered. Well, that sounds very fascinating. Very, very fascinating. So I've also been doing a little bit of, different poses, just trying to get a grasp on, what Humpty looks like with different facial expressions. And then we've also done this larger spread. So I'm going to have some text on the right-hand side over here for the book. That's why it's looking so empty. And it kind of joins up with this other page where we see Humpty being introduced to the spider. He's a little bit freaked out, so he falls over the wall, and that's how his unfortunate story kind of starts off. Nick, a bat ring. You do love my bat ring, don't you, Books on Phonics? Yeah. I've decided I kind of want to name her Betsy. I feel like she needs a name now, She really needs a name. You've been doing beadwork most of your life, but mostly peyote stitch? Is that how you say it? But you're getting into some woodwork with epoxy lately. That sounds cool. That sounds really cool. Betsy's the perfect name. Betsy the Bat? Yeah, because I just feel like, she needs something kind of short and cute, and I don't know. Betsy has a nice ring to it, so I figured I'd call her Betsy. Sadly, Humpty couldn't tell Mr. Spider is a dapper chap and clearly a pleasant fellow. Yeah, exactly. So, he just wanted to make friends, but unfortunately didn't work out so well, so yeah. So lots and lots of detail on this one. Humpty being freaked out, and then the spider. We've also got a castle in the background, because later on we're going to start drawing the king's men, so I've got my work cut out for me. You love her and will die for her, Betsy the Bat? Well, I'm sure Betsy will be truly honored that you would, but I think she'd much prefer if you know, you stayed alive to protect her. Probably would much prefer that. And then we did the other spread where Humpty broke into two pieces. So on the right hand side, he's got all of his egg yolk dripping and oozing out, and he's not in a great shape, you know, not in a great shape at all. So the idea was if you open up the book, you are sort of splitting Humpty into two pieces. So yeah. Now we're moving on to the first page, which is kind of the one that has to make really good first impressions. It's where we introduce Humpty, so he has to look really cute and really happy. So hopefully I'm gonna nail it. We'll see. The horror, exactly, yeah. Humpty's afraid of spiders. He totally is. Thank you for the follow, Comrade Katerina and Rectibator. Please sit down and join our vampire tea party. So how many of you guys from the raid are artists yourselves, and how many of you are just art lovers or art collectors? That's so clever. Hopefully. He's holding his hand up like, what is this life? True, he's not going to have a really good time ahead of him, but this is going to be a different Humpty story, so I will definitely be changing it. So he won't have, you know, the same outcome as the traditional story will. Exactly what Rin said. Yeah, please do share your art if you are an artist. Love to see your work. We're always, you know, enjoying sharing everything with everybody and seeing what you guys keep up to, you know. Does it happen to be grimmer? Unfortunately not. It happens to be less grim, so a little bit better. Just an admirer, can't draw. Okay, well, I'm sure you can draw. Drawing just is like tons and tons of practice, you know. But sounds like your streams are riveting enough that you don't need some artwork on those. You're from the raid. What kind of eraser am I using? Well, welcome from the raid, Rectibator, but I'm using just a normal gummy eraser. Not too sure what they're called, just gum erasers, I'm pretty sure. And so you can mold it into different shapes. So if you need a bit of a tip to erase, you can create a bit of a tip. And that's kind of really useful to get into tiny corners and things like that. So I really rely on that thing. Humpty can't do jumping jacks. That's true. Yeah, exactly. Ahoy there, dear Naka. Funny you were just talking about me. Don't worry, they were good things. I hope they were good things. Netted eraser, exactly. Yeah, that's what they call them. So they're called netted erasers. Yeah, I don't know. I just call them gummy erasers. I don't know why. Sounds more delicious, I guess. But yeah, pretty much, they're very common. Like, most art stores will have them. I find that, you know, especially when they're new, they are sort of a little bit sticky, and they can, you know, get more of the graphite off of the paper than a normal eraser. So they're very useful for that. Very, very useful. You were all talking about how great I am in Leisha's stream earlier. Oh my goodness, I'm so touched. That's so sweet of you guys. Leisha's wonderful though. I totally love her streams. She's amazing. You love how much the communities overlap on Art Twitch. That is so true. I don't know if that's just an art thing though. Like obviously I don't really spend any time in other communities to really know, but you know, I have my hands full in the art communities already because there's like such amazing good content there. You don't really need to go elsewhere. But I do have a couple of just chatting streams that I am a part of, so Humpty was a product of natural selection. I don't know what for. Like, was he destined to be like the last dodo? Because I don't know what he's good for. Gotta go. Have a great rest of your stream. Well, thank you for sharing your little community with us. It was so sweet, proudly radical. Really appreciated that, and it's lovely to have another side of Twitch enter into the art area. So I hope you have a good rest of your day. I should probably take my watch off because it keeps magnetizing to my necklace and then I get stuck. Humpty definitely made it onto a delicious cake. The kingdom was fed for another day. Well, that's a good point. That's another great way to end the story, I guess. Definitely. Unfortunately, I can't make this one a gruesome story because it's a project for my portfolio that I'm doing for children's books. So, yeah, gotta keep it sensible, you know? Definitely. Humpty falls off the wall, but the starving village outside the wall is ever grateful. Well, I can imagine, I can definitely imagine them, mopping Humpty up and him saving the day. He's an egg-seeking purpose outside the carton. That's true. He definitely is. Although I don't think there were cartons for eggs those days. I'm pretty sure that egg cartons is a much more recent development. They had their cake and ate it too. True, true. I wonder kind of like what would Humpty eat if he were real? What would he decide to feast on? Who knows? You certainly were excited. Oh, Khan, you love your puns, don't you? So what laid Humpty? So what laid Humpty? He's an egg from something. That's a good point. Yeah. What laid Humpty? Like, was it some kind of giant? Like, you know, from Jack and the Beanstalk, or what was it? Good point. I wonder who came up with the Humpty Dumpty story originally. Like previously on a stream, somebody said that it was, you know, based off some real story, and apparently they changed him to an egg to make it more friendly for kids. So I don't know. Never heard that one before. Whatever chickens feast on, corn and grain, maybe he's a magical goose egg like Willy Wonka. That's true, that's true. Maybe he's filled with chocolate. It was like the golden goose's stepchild. You're gonna stop reading your mind? We gotta get out of your head, do we, Khan? You don't want us in there. The original poem was about a cannon used during the English Civil War. Oh yeah, that's true. That's what we discussed before. I forgot. That's pretty crazy, isn't it? Did you tell me about your trip to the zoo? No, you haven't. Yeah, go ahead and tell us about your zoo trip. What was it like? What kinds of animals did you end up seeing? I actually haven't been to the zoo in forever, so yeah, it would be lovely to go again. Especially because I actually used to go to pet stores and treated pet stores similar to a zoo, so I can see all these interesting animals, but recently, you know, especially since moving to Adelaide, there hasn't really been a lot of, you know, places where you can check out animals like that. So the pet stores are kind of disappointing here. So probably there's, you know, now a lot more reason for me to go to a zoo at some point. well, the weather wasn't perfect and not all the animals were there, you did manage to take some great pictures and videos. Plenty of penguins, monkeys, birds, and whatnot. Seen a longbill eat a mouse. Oh my goodness. That is crazy. Those are so big, aren't they? They're huge. Could you post some of the pictures on Discord for us so we could have a look? Come to think of it, you need to go to the pet store sometime. You need a hedgehog. Hedgehogs are cool. I would love to have a hedgehog, but we can't have them here. They're not native and, they don't really allow non-native species in Australia as pets, so... anything that can compete with our native species is a no. So I'll never have one. Yeah, please share it in the pet section. Definitely can. That would be awesome. And the longbill tried biting your driver, stuck its bill between the cracks in the floor. Oh my goodness. How can it get through? That sounds pretty freaky. I really love the little pucker face that I've done for Humpty. Really pleased with that. He reminds you of this face. He kind of does, except in this picture at least he's happy, right? You have a new friend who has a fear of birds, so you asked her what bird she was specifically alright with, wanted to be respectful of her fears. Well, I guess don't show her a longbill. Like, don't take her to the zoo and show her a longbill. That doesn't sound good. Hello, Jason! Welcome back! Just stopping by real quick to say hello. No worries. Thank you again for the sub yesterday and really, really appreciate you being here. How has your day been? It was okay. Work concerns you for tomorrow. Oh, that's not good. I hope everything's alright with work. You fought a cassowary once, and that was less pleasant than when the tree full of great blue herons made a mess all over your car. Oh my goodness. Where did you fight a cassowary? How did that ever happen? Like, were you hiking in areas where they're present, or what was the deal? Did you end up with a lot of bruises? Daintree Forest? Okay. So is that like a natural walkway, like a conservation park, or was it a zoo kind of setup? What types or architecture would I recommend you research to build your palace or castle in the game you're playing called Valheim? You asked because when you entered the stream earlier, I mentioned researching facial expressions for Humpty. Well, I have a favorite French castle. Like realistically, probably just go with German castles is probably what I would go with. Like the really really famous Neuschwanstein castle. That's probably a good one to ref off of. There's also a French castle that I really like. I'll try and see if I can get a picture. And I can give you the name. Hang on. I used to have this wallpaper of it, so... oh, there we go. Which one is this? Trying to see what this one's name is. You'll see everyone next time. No worries, Mr. Sir. You take your time. Pixel posted even got a cute pic of two of the polar bears playing with one another. I will have to have a look. Okay. So it's called Chateau de Chaumont. So I'll type that in the chat. That's one of my favorite castles. So if I were you, I'd probably ref off of that and do something similar. You park the car and the cassowary snuck up behind you and try to eat your snacks in the back seat. Oh no, that's pretty sneaky. What snacks was it eyeing? So you got upset because you like snacks, and also you shoved it out of the way. Didn't realize how dangerous cassowaries are until you were told by said ex-partner afterwards. Exactly, yeah. You don't want to mess with those. Like, they can really kick and really badly. So, yeah, you got lucky. Like, did it actually fight back a lot, or did it just leave? Also, check out the Trelleborg Viking Fortress in Denmark. That sounds cool. But yeah, I don't know, how do you build things like that in Valheim? Well, you did it, and it seemed pretty jaded. You just walked to the nearby creek. Oh, it just walked to the nearby creek. Okay, well, you got lucky. Very lucky. Those things are so vicious, they put them in a Far Cry game. Really? Which one? Thanks everyone for the recommendations. You've actually been to the Neuschwanstein as a child. Pulled up all to look at. That sounds pretty exciting. How old were you when you got there? I really want to go see that at some point. That castle is so beautiful. It must be huge to walk through. Like, can you imagine? All the rooms and everything? Did it have, like, secret rooms? You have fought more than your fair share of animals. Spent a lot of last summer yelling at bears. You do not want to fight a bear. That is not cool. That's awesome, guillotine. What guillotine? You think it's the third one? It's constantly pretty crowded there from what you've heard. A streamer you watch live lives 20 minutes from the castle. Oh, okay. How does he live 20 minutes from Neuschwanstein Castle? That is so exciting and cool. Like, can he see it from his house? Like, it's pretty tall. I imagine he'd be able to at least see some of it. But yeah, you don't want to go there if it's crowded. Like, you're just going to be bustling through people. I guess I want to get as many people through as I can. And that's probably why they make it get so crowded, but I don't know, it kind of ruins the experience. Why not just, you know, limit the amount of people going through and then have people book ahead of time instead? You believe they can see it? Not very well, you'd imagine. That would be cool, though. Mad King Ludwig's dream. You will be back up. She had heard the insane stories. Hang on, is Cassidy here? You absolutely love the facial expression on this drawing. It's incredible. Thank you, DFCO. Really appreciate that. I'm glad you like it. I really needed this one, especially the first page, to be endearing and have you just, you know, fall in love with little Humpty. So. Oh my goodness, thank you for the gifted sub. Really, really appreciate that, DFCO. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Cassidy will back you up. She had heard the insane stories. So what is that about? She's building a new computer. She will be back on Twitch soon. Did she reach her goal then? That is so awesome. I'm so happy for her. I know she was saving up for a new computer. Humpty looks so innocent and unsuspecting. He really is at this point. He has no idea what's in store for him yet. So, gonna get a big surprise. She did, but also the old computer had a total meltdown. So it was very good timing for her to meet her goal. Oh no, I guess that's why it explains, you know, the sudden absence of her streaming. Well, I'm so happy for her. That is amazing. Really happy for her. She'll be back streaming tomorrow night. So soon! That is awesome! How awesome. Not a long hiatus then. Well, I'm gonna have to attend her new next stream where, you know, we christen her new computer with the first stream. So that'll be awesome. Do I have any tips for anyone learning how to draw hands? Yeah, I think one of the main things that, so I had the same trouble with feet. I never really struggled with hands, but I really struggled with feet. And so, yeah, try to draw, like, start by drawing, if you're drawing a hand, like, start drawing the main shape of the hand first. So just that, and then the finger. Just start by drawing a glove, essentially. And then you split just the pinky finger and the pointed finger. That's what I find is easiest. If you start by doing that in general, it just feels like it's a lot easier to get your hand's shape in your head, because, you know, rather than drawing every single finger on its own, it just separates it a little bit in your head. So I would probably go with that. Just start by drawing the main shapes first, and, you know, draw them as like blocks of shapes. Like if you're doing a finger, draw it as like a shape, like so. And I find that often helps a lot, you know, if you're doing that. Other than that, you know, use references. Like, take a picture of your hand in the pose that you need and use it as a reference. Because sometimes, you know, you're building up a memory bank, and the more you draw from references, the more accurate your memory bank's going to be. So just keep practicing, keep repeating that. I feel like that'll help. But yeah, the thing that helps me most is separating shapes. Just draw the main shapes first and separate those shapes. There's actually a couple of artists on, you know, Instagram who do really good sort of hand studies, and I find just looking at the way that they do those and then trying to replicate that, trying to do your own, is incredibly helpful sometimes. So really up to you. Like, how do you learn best? Do you know, if you despise working off references, maybe that's not for you, you know? Oh, WBFRCU, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate that. Some people suggest drawing things upside down so you're not too focused on the image but the shapes instead. Exactly, yeah, that's another great tip, Ren. Definitely that. I find that when I'm struggling with something hard and I just want to get my head out of the game, I think that is usually the best way to, yeah, stop yourself from drawing what you think it should be, but rather focusing on what you're seeing. That is a great tip. And it's kind of like very similar to art block, you know. I find that a really good thing to get out of art block as well is try to do some drawing with your left hand, do blind drawings for a bit right before you're about to draw, and that's gonna loosen you up. It's gonna make you less focused on what's in your head and more focused on feeling intuitively, like feeling the drawing and everything like that. So, and art to an extent is definitely, you know, you are thinking about what you're doing. It's a very conscious, you know, activity. But there's definitely a large portion of art that's very emotional and very, you know, you're feeling it and you're expressing it, and that comes from somewhere else, somewhere not analytical. So, and sometimes, you know, we get a little bit out of whack and it gets hard to draw on those emotions. And I feel like those are the times when art block tends to happen most. So for me, the best way to get out of those moments is to sort of, I guess, dislocate my head from my hands. And so I do blind drawings for a little bit, and then until I can feel like I'm no longer assessing the way I draw a line, no longer assessing the shapes and things, I'm just letting go. I'm expressing my lines, you know, more intuitively. So that was actually a tip that my teacher told us when I was at uni, and it really helped. Really, really helped. I had really awesome art teachers at uni. They were so good at, you know, the things that they taught us, and yeah, just the way that they could look at your piece and just in a couple of minutes pick out what you're doing wrong. That was incredible. They taught me so much at how to critique your own work, which is really important. Like, you have to be able to look at your work, take a step back and be like, well, what's going wrong here? You know. I can't remember what exactly I did with Humpty's shoes. Did I give them... I didn't give them buttons. Cool. Okay, so I'm on the right track still. No buttons. Do you guys have any, like, any of your own techniques that get you out of art block more often? What do you tend to do when you are frustrated that you can't draw? You've never been able to draw well, so that's why you picked up photography. Oh, photography sounds exciting. Well, for you, it's just random doodles, which you are actually doing right now. Sometimes random doodles can connect to each other to form ideas, or just shapes in general. Okay, so you're trying to sort of brainstorm and like come up with something that you're very excited to draw. That makes sense. More often than not, when I get art block, it's mostly a case of I have an idea that I really want to do, but it's just not executing. Like, it's just not coming out on the paper the way that I've envisioned it. And that's usually because I'm being like, I'm over rendering at earlier steps, or you know, I'm just too critical of the way the lines have to be formed and things like that. So that's why me getting to, you know, just getting my hands more loose usually helps quite a lot. Sometimes, if you have a really good idea for something, you just make a bunch of bullet points or doodles or of what you're thinking about, and eventually it'll turn into something. I do that too, Rin. I have like I use Apple reminders and keep a list of, these are the next things that I want to draw. I also have see if I can um I also have this tiny little paper blanks sketchbook. I'll show you guys up close. So it's really nice and small, pocket sized, and it is perfect for, those little sketches. So, you can just do a quick idea just like that and just jot them down. So I don't always force them to be extremely, they don't always have to be extremely fleshed out, but it's kind of like my idea book, which is really awesome to have. It's sometimes you just have a little moment, just enough time, and then that allows you to enjoy getting that idea out of your head for a few seconds. But you may not have enough time to do a full-on A4 piece, and I find that those tiny pages are great for that. Because sometimes words can't really get an idea out of your head properly, and I feel like those are the reasons why I like having an actual sketchbook and just being able to draw them. But more often than not, I just jot down the words and the ideas that I'm planning to put to paper eventually. You find that if you're having a hard time turning an idea into a drawing, that idea is meant to be a short story instead. That's a good point. Yeah, like I can totally see why that would be. And I definitely have like a couple of stories like that I couldn't just put into one, and I needed to flesh them out. And I do have a couple of planned, of those stories planned as book projects in the future. So once I finish this one up, I can get started on the next one. You also have a messy desk, but people don't know. What people don't know is that you intentionally keep it that way. Messy desks actually give you ideas while observing. That is really true, yeah. Like if you have all your sketches strewn over the desk and you can see them all at once, it's very, very inspiring. That is so true. What could probably help you to, have some more desk space is if you had like a pin board and you were able to, pin all of those, previous projects up on the wall. That could be really helpful. With the random doodles, you just cram whatever you can on a single page. Then you take a good look at it to carefully see what connects and formulate ideas. That makes sense, yeah. That's a great idea. But even if it isn't unorganized, you still know where everything is. I bet you do, yeah. I bet you do. I'm like that as well, like, I definitely have a tendency to be more messy than tidy. But I also do find that there comes a point where it's at your detriment, you know. It starts getting in the way of getting things done and becomes more of a distraction than anything, so. So the main thing I'm still worried about with this spread is the perspective on this wall. I had a lot of trouble with the last one. So I'm just hoping this one doesn't give me as much grief as the previous one. But who knows, you know. Probably won't get that lucky. Oh, Nordic Sparkle, thank you for the host. Incredible Hunk, thank you so much for the raid. Really appreciate that. What were you working on? Oh, Lost Foxerin, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. Incredible Hunk, please do share some of your work. Drop a link to your Instagram, drop a link to, your last project. We'd love to take a look. Guys, do go ahead and follow Incredible Hunk. He's spreaded us before. His work is amazing. He also hangs out in Cass's stream at times, so you're bound to see him over there. It's Ma! Hello! How are you doing? Tonight you were just chatting and hanging out. Okay, so no art tonight, just a chatting stream. What were you talking about? Pixru, welcome and thank you for the follow. Please sit down and join our vampire tea party. You're swell, just enjoying the stream session with Hunk. So what did you guys talk about tonight? Those are both beautiful pieces. Let us have a look. Let's hope. I've been having a lot of issues, guys, so let us hope that the stream will not crash on us if I share this. Definitely hope so. Oh, you talked about you being sick. Guys, have a look at Incredible Hunk's work. This is amazing. It is so, so gorgeous. Look at the puppy's eyes. He's beautiful. Is this in gouache or is it done in acrylics? Tonight was a hangout and letting everyone know to come watch Cassidy's computer getting built tomorrow. You're gonna stream you building it. Oh, that is cool. That is really cool. So do you and Cassidy know each other in real life then? We talked a small bit about pens. Oh, what kind of pens? It is acrylic. Okay. Very minimal lag after the transition, Necker. Yeah, it does seem to be better, Rin. You know what I think it could be? That recently I've just started sharing like the video feeds of people's Twitch streams, and I think that little bit of, just the sharing the video probably overloads it. So it looks like as long as we're just sharing pictures, it's all good. Let us hope so. Yeah, you do? Fountain pens, it's your addiction. Of course, it's you and fountain pens. How could I forget? Well, thank you so much for raiding us, Incredible Hunk. Really appreciate the raid, and you know, you guys stopping by means a lot. How am I doing tonight? I'm doing really well, yeah. I'm working on my Humpty Dumpty storybook, so this is the first page. So we're just introducing little Humpty on this page. I've done 3 other spreads other than this one. So we're getting there. We're getting close to finishing it. I need to finish this book before the end of the year, so I've got my work cut out for me because it needs to be colored still and everything, and it's gonna take some time. It's definitely gonna take time. So what day is today? Today is Thursday. So I don't normally stream on Fridays, but this week could be an exception. I'll see how it goes. But I'll definitely try to attend the computer building stream on Cassidy's account. Definitely would like to see how that goes. You made a link tree with sources of fountain pen information for those who are new to the hobby or those not in the hobby that you'll be updating often. Could you link it here? Yeah, totally. Go ahead, it's smart. If you want to link it in Discord as well, yeah, that would be great. You should definitely do a stream with fountain pens. That would be so awesome, and then you can educate all of us. I would definitely watch that, for sure. Cassidy loves the Olive Garden. What is the Olive Garden? Thank you for the follow, Potty. Really appreciate that. How are you doing today? You would if you had the tech too. Oh, so you've not really got a setup for that. That makes sense, yeah. Where in the Discord? Maybe just, I don't know, art or inspiration. Even general is fine, but I reckon people probably will go looking for it more in the art section, if I have to guess, so probably be easier for them to find it there. Malkavian, good morning. How are you doing today? You'll be sure you do? Do what? Olive Garden is an American restaurant chain that has like Italian food. Oh, that makes sense. Cass really does love Italy, so I can imagine why she likes that. Olive Garden is an Italian restaurant, and she actually does not love it because it is the Hungry Jack's equivalent of Italian food. But it will be quite funny. Ah, so you guys are playing jokes on me. Poor Cass. She's not going to be impressed when she finds out about this. Definitely not. It's not an inside joke if you tell everyone. That's okay, my lips will be sealed. You guys can keep it to yourselves. True, but you're innocent on this one. Are you now? Doesn't sound like it. You're not? Did I change my microphone settings yet? Not yet, Potty. I have to look into that. Thank you very much for suggesting that, by the way. So I'm just using the Blue Yeti's raw sound, and I've got one setting switched on Streamlabs, which is just like a noise isolation thing. So that's pretty much all I've got. Yeah, I am an insider. Well, I'm very, very happy to be an insider then. Very happy to be part of the secret group. I won't spill it. You sent a screenshot of you saying all this. Where'd you send it? Did you DM me or did you send it on Discord? Because I don't think that I got a whisper. So when was your last stream, Potty? You sent the link in Discord. Oh, thank you so much, Itzma. Feel free to drop it in the chat as well if you'd like to share that with everybody here. Guys, Itzma is a wonderful resource of calligraphy pens, so if you're trying to get into the hobby or just, you know, want some more information on which ones to purchase, I would definitely suggest asking him. Oh, you sent it to Cass. Oh no. The secret's out now, you do realize that. Like 2 weeks ago or so, you think you should be doing a few next week, maybe this weekend. Oh, well that's awesome. If it's this weekend, I can definitely keep an eye out. Different time zones are so hard though, like, you know, for us in Australia, when you guys in the UK stream, it's usually in your evenings, and we're not often awake then, so it's quite tricky. Mikuto, hello, how are you doing? Welcome. Fountain pens calligraphy is the art of writing in art. Exactly, yeah. Do you often do a lot of projects where you use them that you can show us, Itzma? You're not dealing with poinsettia tail. Good morning, hope you're doing well this wonderful sunny spring morning. Well, I'm doing really great, Winterbold. I hope you are too. It's a really warm day here at the moment. It's 27 degrees Celsius. Not super warm, but it is warm. And so I'm just hoping it'll cool down a little bit over the weekend. That would be really lovely, you know. Just a little bit of a break from all this heat we've been having lately. It's 7 a.m. there. You're working and hating life right now. Oh no. What kind of work are you doing? When do you get to get home? Sounds like you have a long day ahead of you at this point. having breakfast, enjoying a fine art stream. Well, that sounds lovely. What are you having for breakfast? It's autumn for me currently. I'm in the upside down part of the globe. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I actually had a kind of a roundabout day. I actually despise cooking, and for some reason, so we didn't have a lot of food in the house. Thank you for the follow, Tiff. Really appreciate that. Welcome. So yeah, we didn't have a lot of snacks in the house or any real substantial food. So I decided I was gonna do, I was gonna try and bake some muffins. And according to my mum, it's a very simple recipe. It's not hard at all. Yes, you can share your ongoing drawing, Wentable. Go ahead. So I ended up actually trying it out. And because it's supposedly easy, you can whip it up in like 15 minutes and it bakes for 20 and you have a nice lunch. But it came out really strange and goopy and we couldn't eat it. So I was really disappointed because I wasted so much time, which is why I was late for the stream as well. I wasted so much time trying to get that thing properly cooked, and it didn't work out. So I don't know. Maybe the recipe's wrong. Who knows? Why is it that you write the longest message in any stream you venture into? It seems like you talk a lot. I'm sure that's not a problem. Why do you feel... Oh, because you were talking about calligraphy. You were saying that you don't call a dip pen or fountain pen a calligraphy pen, but the artistic writing, you don't have any as you don't do calligraphy. You're working slowly to draw 2-point, but you've nothing to share just yet. Oh, 2-point perspective. Well, that's okay. When you do, we would love to see. Let us have a look at Wentable's drawing. I have to see this. Guys, check out this. What is this? Is this like a mandala or something? What is this? That is really cool. It is so detailed. Oh my goodness. How long did this thing take you? Is it A3? It looks like it's A3. Wow. Yeah, you know what I love? This sort of like moldy... It looks like a moldy texture. But also kind of like, you know, when you've got salt in watercolor, like the way that it blends. But it's so crazy that it got done with like pen. And then you've got this. That looks like crackling in a desert. Abstract stippling drawing, you're about 100+ hours in. Oh my goodness. That is some dedication. That is crazy. You should be really proud. Wow. Thank you so much for showing us that. Really appreciate that. Humpty looks so cute, knowing what is going to happen to him like this. Double tragic. It is, isn't it? It really is. He's so adorable. And I did want him to be super adorable. I wanted you to, you know, in this piece, I want you to fall in love with Humpty. I want you to be like, he is the cutest little creature, nothing can happen to him. When Cass streams again, you better not flake on the duels. How come? What's the deal with all these duels? How do duels work? Never seen them before. So, anyway. Leash, how are you doing? I heard you were streaming earlier. I missed it. What were you streaming? If you'd like to show us, please go ahead and drop a link. Hello, Nordic Sparkle. How are you doing? Thank you for the follow earlier. Really appreciate that. I think I had, oh my goodness, I had a ton more rows before. So I need to go way smaller with them. Seems a lot more strange, so I've definitely gone more thick with them. But we can split them up, so it's not a big issue. I reckon this is probably a little too wide. So I'm gonna see if I can thin it out just a little bit. How many layers did I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 5 layers before. So 1, 2, and then 3 and 4, 5. So that should be good. Leash was working on the Furby earlier. Did she make progress? Because I loved the Furby last time. It was good, very chill, and yes, working on the Furby. Do you have a progress picture you can share with us, Leash? Bryn or Dart Guy, if you guys could do a shout out for Leash, please do. I need everybody to know about Leash's stream. It's terrifying, you're so happy with it. Well, if it's terrifying, it sounds like it's on the right track to being a proper Furby. So guys, please, if you can, give Leash a follow. her Twitch link is right there in the chat. She is an amazing art streamer, also does very detailed pencil work. She does some ink work on occasion. Her streams are such a lovely place to hang out. You will love it there. You will definitely love it there. You were actually all talking about how much everyone likes my work on your stream earlier as well. Oh, that is so sweet of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Really appreciate that. I'm glad everybody likes my work. Hide the breadsticks? Oh no, is this another inside joke going on? Not sure why you feel as though something slanderous has been said. They're definitely spreading lies about you, Cass. Very, very atrocious lies. Nobody here was referring to the authentic Italian goodness of Olive Garden. So, I heard that you're a fan of Olive Garden's food, Cass. I will definitely come and taste it so I can know what proper Italian food tastes like. Sounds like I need to get that experience, you know? I definitely cannot pass up on your recommendation, can I? I mean, you've been to Italy, you would know best. Poor Neca doesn't even know about Olive Garden and their authentic cuisine. Exactly, I have to experience this. Don't trust anything Dale says, he lies. Does he now? But maybe you just are selfish now. Maybe you just want to keep all the good food to yourself. How am I gonna know? Maybe that was what your true intentions were. Now you're just like going back on it because you don't want to share the best of Italian food with everybody. Thank you for the shout out, Ren. Guys, if you can give Cass a follow, her work is stunning. She does amazing oil paintings and also occasionally some graphite work. But her work is just amazing. You have to check it out. Also does some more gothic kind of style work. So if you're a fan of that, you'll definitely feel very at home in Cass's streams, I can assure you. And she also has awesome collectibles, like art collectibles and things. And lots of antiques in her house. I really do hope we make some progress on Humpty today. Because, I would love to see him, you know, go further. I feel like those vertical bars are just a little too close to each other. Not sure if I'm entirely happy with that just yet. You're trying to save us all, just say no. You're very welcome, Cass. You should thank Rin for the shout out. Sometimes you gotta have unlimited breadsticks and salad for $5 or whatever it costs. You know what's funny? My boyfriend and I went to an Italian restaurant here in Adelaide and we had some really delicious pasta. And I'm not actually a big pasta fan, but this place had really, really good pasta. So it was good, but the thing that we both liked most was well, at least I did, was the sour bread. It was so good, and neither him nor I could finish our meals, so we asked the lady, could we please, could we please pack up our food? And they didn't pack up our sour bread. Like, they packed up everything, but they threw the bread away, and we were devastated. And right before we left, my boyfriend nicked a piece of bread before we went out because they just had this open area where they cut it. I'm sure they wouldn't mind, and technically they owed us because they took our bread away, so, you know, it's only fair. Adelaide, home of the crows. Exactly, yeah. I'm not a big fan of sport though, so do not start sport conversations with me, because I will get so lost. For some reason this does not feel super straight, so I feel like I need my ruler to help me out, because I have problems in this area. It's going all curved, and I don't want that. You deserve all the bread? Exactly. Well, we paid for it and they took it away. I'm getting behind on chat over here. Bread is important. Exactly. It's very important. Bread's one of like my favorite things to eat. Even though Olive Garden's pasta is not the best, the breadsticks are very good. Well, maybe I'll have to go there for the breadsticks then. You won't start a sport conversation, but you will say that it's fun as an American watching Australian sports at like 2 or 3 a.m. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't mind if you start a sports conversation, just know that I probably won't be participating in it. The breadsticks with the Alfredo sauce is actually worth going for. Okay, so we have a tick of something from the Olive Garden from Cass, guys. So what was the best food you had in Italy, Cass? You heard it first. Cass recommends Olive Garden for all birthday weddings and anniversaries. Oh dear. You come from such a rural area that you thought Olive Garden was supposed to be like Michelin quality food and got super excited about it when you moved to the city. Oh no. Were you disappointed? Like, isn't it funny how sometimes when you have, high expectations of something, you think something is premium, you see it in totally different light? All the food in Italy is amazing. Okay. What do you miss about Italian food? Like, if you missed one thing about Italy, what would it be? You were born and raised in a town of 2,500 people in Iowa. That is a really small town, yeah. You enjoyed watching your women's national football team, the Matildas, were in your top three favorites in the World Cup. Okay. Sounds like an Australian team. I can assure you, most Australians are definitely very into footy. I'm just, I'm just not into any sport in general. Like, I don't discriminate. I hate all sports equally. Well, that's not really true. I don't mind tennis as much. Obviously, any sport with animals in them is fun to watch in the sense that I like watching animals, but I'm not always a fan of like all animal sports because of how they're treated, but just for the sake of being able to watch an animal, that side of it I do like. You grew up in a village of like 10 families. Oh my goodness, that is so small. Did you ever get lonely or did you kind of like it? I'd imagine, like, after having grown up like that, it would be so difficult to live in a big city again or just anywhere really. At least you have Winnipeg and polar bears. You hate all sports equally as well. Well, I'm glad I'm not alone. Your cousin once saw a Bigfoot. Were they sure? How old were they? You lived in Southeast Alaska last year. No Yetis, but you have had Kushtaka? What is Kushtaka? I don't know what that is. Wait, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to lift it up and check if my perspective was okay. It looks okay. I'm not too much of a fan of the curve on the other side, but we can deal with that another day. At the moment, I just want to get this side of the wall done and, you know, worked out a little bit more. I can worry about the other one another day. Kushtaka is the Otter Man. Really? I've never heard of Kushtaka. In the Pacific Northeast and southern Alaska, there's lots of Bigfoot sightings and similar sightings. They apparently could shapeshift. The Kushtaka could. In Vancouver, you have a lake monster called Ogopogo. That is pretty cool. What does it look like? He was under 25 and out hunting. It was very large and moved incredibly quickly, and as though the heavy forest bush was nothing at all. Very spooky. Sounds very interesting. You're needing to drive home, going to say good evening. No worries, Cass. I hope you have a good drive home, and I'm looking forward to your stream tomorrow. Your computer building one. It sounds awesome. Really exciting. Ogopogo is similar to the Loch Ness Monster. Oh, right, okay. That's interesting. In Australia, we have the bunyip. And nobody really agrees on what the bunyip looks like, but essentially it's just like a big monster-like creature, so... The bunyip is our Bigfoot. Thanks for letting you come stand your ground against the Olive Garden. No worries, Kaz. I hope you feel like you've redeemed yourself. Ogopogo being real is more likely than the Canucks winning the Stanley Cup. Sorry, sport reference. Well, it sounds like that's very unlikely then. Bunyip, they reference that in Final Fantasy. Really? How come? Why would Final Fantasy reference the bunyip? That's odd. It's definitely starting to look more like a brick wall now. Curiously researching bunyip, you love cryptids so much. There's another one that I found the other day. It's like, oh, now I forgot what it was called. It's a Japanese one, and it's like, I think it's a ningen. I'm pretty sure. I'll try and spell it. I'm pretty sure it's a ningen. I think that's the one. And it's like a white creature with 2 legs, and that's it. Like a blob of white and 2 human-like legs. And that's it. And I thought that one looked really adorable. At least in some of the pictures it did. Pretty cool. But isn't it funny how most of these mythological creatures are underwater? Probably because if they're in the water, it's so hard to see them properly, and people can get their stories quite construed. But just, yeah, I found that a lot of them are underwater creatures more often than not. Obviously not Bigfoot, but... And I love the Mothman. The Mothman is so cool. What an amazing character. The only Jack, Joe Jack, thank you so much for the resub for 2 months. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Welcome back. Meeting a real mermaid is your life dream. That could be tricky, yeah. Like, I know there are certain, like, recreational places you can go to with, like, pretend mermaids, and they look pretty realistic. Like, I actually follow this, group of women from Perth who do, like, you know, kids' parties and everything, and they dress up in full costume, and they look amazing. Like, they even, at times, they take this large glass fish tank and they have somebody swimming inside it. It is really awesome. So cool. Final Fantasy typically draws from mythologies for naming monsters. Bunyip was a monster in FF10. A lot of the weapons in the same game draw from multiple mythologies. Okay, right. It's like how mermaids were most likely the product of fishermen seeing manatees in the ocean. Exactly. Like, if you look at a manatee from underneath, they actually have what looks like separated limbs, but they're still attached. It's pretty cool. It really does look like a mermaid. So I can understand why, you know, fishermen being a little bit delirious after a few days or a few months at sea, and then seeing a manatee and being like, this is a mermaid. But if I had to choose between a mermaid and a manatee, I would much rather hug a manatee. I mean, they are adorable. They are so cute. Perth, your retirement goal? Well, yeah, exactly. They do really amazing you know, events. So if your heart is set on meeting a real life mermaid, I'd say that's probably the closest you're gonna get. So manatees endangered? I'm pretty sure they are endangered. Bremer Canyon is where you want to retire. How come? What's in Bremer Canyon? They're endangered but protected. Okay, well that's good. I don't even know where manatees live. Hello, Sub-Zero! How are you? It's lovely seeing you on here. Are you ready for our games tonight? Did you see the weird clip I did on your channel? Hope you did. Florida manatees are endangered, dugongs are not. So Florida manatees are freshwater, aren't they? There are manatees of different varieties and kinds all over the place. They're like ocean dogs, to be honest. They really are. They're so cute. I love them. Bremer Canyon has some of the world's best whale watching, and since that's what you do for a living, it's sort of a bucket list goal. How do you do that for a living? Is it because of photography? No games until Saturday, packing car tonight and camping next to afterwards. That's exciting! Making the most of the long weekend. My sister's gone camping as well, so you're not alone. I bet there's going to be a lot of people with the same idea. Hopefully it cools down though. I feel like it's just a little too warm, although probably not as bad where you are. Thank you for the follow, Knots Dame. Thank you. Please sit down and join our vampire tea party. You have worked on whale watching boats as a crew member and photographer for 10 years. Despite that, you're still patiently uninteresting. How so? Sounds like you're extremely interesting. That sounds like an awesome gig. Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want a job like that? Although, you know, it would make it hard to settle down because, you know, if you're always going from place to place, that can be tricky. No pets and, you know, hard with kids and things like that. It is, you don't know why they'll let you still do it. How so? Like, I'd imagine that's the kind of thing, if you've been in it for a long time, that they want to keep you, you know? Thank you for the follow, Snorlax. Really appreciate that. Please sit down, grab a cup of tea, and join our vampire tea party. So once these bricks are done, I'm hoping they're gonna look like this. That's what we're aiming for today. So we won't get it all done. Probably not even gonna start rendering, but I just want the base of it done. So that next time I can start adding all the details in and I know where I'm going. You are love and someone is rooting for you. You wanted to send all of us good energy. Please keep your heads up, drink plenty of water, and make sure you take the take the day one step at a time. That is awesome advice, Snorlax. We'll definitely take your advice. Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks for the good vibes. Much appreciated. One step at a time is a great way to go through life, because you never know what's around the corner, and especially when it comes to art. I mean, if you're impatient and you're trying to rush it and you look at it and you go, yeah, that looks terrible, you'll never get there. Because it's never gonna be up to your standards, so it's a good idea to try and just be, be patient with it. So hey, I'm gonna at least have half of it, like, half of the base of it done. And I'm really happy with Humpty. Like, obviously his little arm and hand isn't quite done yet, but I'm really happy with his face and everything, so... Off to a great start. Whereabouts are you from, Snorlax? I really wonder what is the craziest of all mythological creatures? Like, like the Loch Ness Monster and all of them. Which one's the craziest? I remember last Halloween I had to draw one, and I decided to go for this. What was it called? Actually, no, it was one of the prompts, so I didn't even choose it. It was like a uh, two-legged creepy forest creature. But I don't remember what it was called now. It's on my last Halloween. I did a piece of two of them, and I actually had to research a YouTube video about them to try and get good reference pictures. And some people actually believe that they're legit. Like, even though there's like less proof on those than there are on Bigfoot. Am I familiar with the Folklore Thursday on Twitter? They share some weird folklore, mythology, and cryptids every week, and tons of people share their stories from around the world using the hashtag. No, I'm definitely not. You should link me. Craziest cryptid? The Jersey Devil for sure. Let me have a look. You love the Jersey Devil? Let me see what this thing looks like. Oh, some people actually took photos of squirrels that look like it. So it looks like some horse-like creature or deer-like creature with wings. Very, very interesting. I've never heard of this one. Oh, thanks for the link, Ren. Thank you. For some reason, actually, that link is not working for me. Why will that link not open? Let us try that again. Oh, there we go. Awesome. Just hit follow. Thanks, Ren. There was a PlayStation game back in the day about the Jersey Devil, and you played it so much. So, what was the objectives of the game? One of my favorite childhood games was Croc and the Gobbos. I also loved Pets 5, but before we had Pets 5, played a lot of Crocs and the Gobbos. So I'm pretty sure it's a lot like, what's that other game called? With the hedgehog. I'm not too sure, but it's a platformer, essentially. It was a platformer similar to Sonic or Spyro. Yeah, those are the ones. There was a big bad that you needed to take down. You're pretty sure the enemies were like vegetables or something. It was a weird game. Sounds like it. But yeah, I played Croc and the Gobbos, and I loved the Gobbos. So they were these like brown Furby-like creatures, and you had to save them. They sound really cute. And so Croc is essentially a crocodile, and he has to save these gobbo creatures from, I don't know, some mysterious big monster. But yeah, it's really awesome. Great game. I'd love to install it again and play it, but I don't know. Hard to find, and I have the CD, but I don't know if it'll run on my computer, so guess I could check it out. Not sure. That's actually pretty good. For any young people listening in, CDs were what mommies and daddies played games on and listened to music from when they were young. I guess we need to try and clarify that these days, shouldn't we? My patience with bricks amazes you. Oh, thanks, Rin. I definitely am gonna get sick of bricks by the end of all this, like this whole book, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to have the bricks in every page. So yeah, it's gonna be tedious. But streams help because, you know, on a stream I can chat with you guys about all cool things like folklore and mermaids and Ningen and Bigfoots, and it's just a lot more fun, you know, than just sitting around and drawing bricks for hours on end. Definitely much easier. I don't know, it'd probably take twice as long on my own because I'd give up and get bored. Now, painting characters on the other hand, I love doing those. Those are so much fun. But I've never been a fan of still life of any form, so. This from a guy who still has a VHS somewhere. Oh my goodness, like stored, or do you have it set up? Is it called Jersey Devil, the game? Your mom would tell you about Aswang, Asong, when you were kids. They're essentially Filipino vampires that appear most commonly as old women. They're a very real fear in rural Filipino communities. Your mum wouldn't even let you say their name in the house. Oh my goodness. Really? What was it? It's similar to that, what do they call her? It's like a Japanese yokai. But apparently she only appears when someone's about to give birth and she kills the mother and the child. But it's like she pretends to be a midwife or something, and so Japanese women would learn not to trust their midwives. Yeah, I thought that one was like one of the most brutal yokai I've ever heard of. Like, pretty crazy. If you start reading about the yokai, they're pretty horrific. Like, it's kind of, it makes sense why Japanese are so good at horror movies. If you just read about their folklore and everything, they have such vivid imaginations and stuff. It's actually a wonder why there's not more movies of all of those, because they're pretty cool. There's a pretty good documentary about Arsong as well on the internet. You'll try to find it. Yeah, please post it in Discord. You're most fascinated by lake monsters. One of your favorites is, you're not going to make me pronounce it. Yeah, I'm not gonna try and pronounce that. And it's a lake monster from Sweden. Is that like Storybook? Whatever. That is so hard. Sounds pretty freaky. Why are there so many water monsters? My only explanation is people can't see properly in the water, and so, they more often than not distort what they see, and that's how we end up with so many mythical water creatures. Bedtime, thanks for letting you tune in, and thanks for helping you heckle Cassidy. No worries, always a pleasure. We can definitely keep this up. Stores Yurit. It translates to the Great Lake Beast. Right. Sounds pretty cool. Does it like eat people? Or is it more like the Loch Ness Monster? Does the Loch Ness Monster actually eat people? Or is it more of like a herbivore? Like, obviously, according to the mythology. Well, they look pretty neat now. I feel like I'm mostly happy with that perspective. Like, maybe a couple of sections are a little bit off, but like in general, I feel like it's pretty decent. Especially considering I was lazy, as usual, and I didn't draw all my like proper guides and stuff, so. Hello, Robin. SJ in Sweden makes an H sound. It's difficult to pronounce if you don't know the language. Okay. That's when you call... That's you called your aunt. Not sure what you were saying there. No, Nessie is a herbivore. Well, that's a relief. Thank goodness. Thank goodness for that. How are you doing, Robin? Long time no see. I haven't been on VV streams a lot of late. Just been, I guess, very distracted lately with just tons of things going on, so not had a lot of time for that, but I hope she's doing well. I need to pop by in her streams this weekend for sure, so. Have you started streaming again? Nessie is a gentle giant. Well, that's good to know. Very good to know. Well, I cannot believe I actually finished the right side of the wall today. Very, very happy with that progress. Because tomorrow, if I am streaming tomorrow, probably won't stream tomorrow because I think it's we've got a public holiday and I'm probably going out. So next stream will probably be on Monday, unfortunately. Well, you had your last major dental appointment yesterday, so you're in recovery mode again for at least a week more. Oh my goodness, again? I thought you were over all that. That is not good. Well, I hope you're recovering okay and that it's not too terrible, because those can be so horrible. But yeah, I hope it's going well. At least you can sit back and relax and, you know, watch art streams. At least there's that. definitely so happy if I get all this out of the way. I will be so excited. Yep, and Miss Vivi would stream tonight, you're pretty sure, so you'll be there chilling. Okay, well I'll definitely stop by as well. Because yeah, I've been missing her streams of late. I don't know why. I think I just went through a period lately where I haven't been on a lot of streams in general. Not specifically just hers. Just been away from my computer a lot more, so haven't been able to, you know, do as many as I normally do. She's been away for the past 10 days on a ski vacation. Oh, did she stream any of that? Because I know she does do her like travel vlogs. Dark Zira, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate that. You may or may not have added a channel to your Discord specifically for folklore and mythology stuff. I will have to check that out, Rin. I didn't see that. You definitely do have a lot of channels in your Discord, so it can feel like a little bit of a maze for someone new, but lots and lots of goodies to uncover once you spend some time there. You admire that I do all this prep work before rendering and drawing. You're so messy and impatient that you usually just throw a quick few lines done and go at it blindly. Well, I can definitely understand the temptation to do that, Leash. I do have to hold myself back a lot, but in general, I just know that if I do that with something like bricks, something is gonna go wrong. I just know it because I am not particularly good at perspective, so anything very geometric, yeah, I'm not. I need to play it safe and make sure I do the prep work, because I do not trust myself with that. Some people are so good at drawing things like that, like drawing cars and all kinds of different things. Unfortunately, I am not blessed with that ability. But I think it's also like a lot of what we're good at has to do, you know, with what we enjoy looking at and what we enjoy making. So if you aren't good at certain things, it may just be because that's not where you spend the majority of your time, you know? She tried, but the connection was way too weak for it. Ah, that makes sense. Up in the mountains and everything, that would definitely make sense. You're so particular about keeping all the things separated into categories so that people can choose what they want to see and mute the channels that don't interest them. Yeah, exactly. That makes a lot of sense. And then people who are fans about one topic can just go crazy and not have to worry about flooding the chat with topics that, you know, other people may not be interested in. That is very true. Ren, you will probably like, what are they called? There's an Instagram group that do podcasts, and I really enjoy listening to them. Maybe if I grab my phone, I should be able to see what they're called, so give me 1 second. I know it starts with an A, but yeah, so it's alluring. So A-L, hang on, where'd that go? A-L-O-R-E-I-N-G. It's not about witches, no. It's about mythological creatures. So allure. Hang on, how the heck do you spell that? I just spelled it. So spelled alluring. Without the double R's anyway, but yeah. They have a really interesting podcast. Sometimes when I'm drawing or painting off stream, I like to just put them on and be like, you know, this is nice stuff to listen to. If I don't have a good stream to watch, that's what I do. Enjoy your lurk, Robin. There we go. Their podcast isn't on Spotify. Okay, that is interesting. So it's only on Apple? Or where can you listen to it? Because I know I listen to it through Apple. And that works out pretty good for me. So I have now, it's so big. I have now my whole entire wall mapped out. Hopefully it looks okay. Hold it up. It does look like it works. Fingers crossed when I'm done with this thing it'll still look okay. Probably having a longer ruler might help, but I'm just lazy. I'm just gonna wing it and hope for the best. There we go. I've got the whole wall mapped out. Oh, they are on Spotify, you guess. You, just not if you search it, only if you follow the link. Maybe Spotify just doesn't have really great search features. You added them to your list and you will have a listen later. Awesome. Well, I'm glad to have introduced you to them. Yeah, I really enjoy them. Do you follow Brett Manning art as well, Ren? So her Instagram account is... Hang on, let me type all of it. There we go. So Brett Manning art. Go and give her a follow. Oh my goodness, Sarah, thank you so much for rating us. Really appreciate that. Welcome, Sarah. Thank you. How was your art stream today? Guys, go ahead and give Sarah a follow. Her account name is right up there. Click the link, give her a follow. Her work is amazing. She does oil painting as well. So if you love that kind of stuff, you will definitely enjoy her streams. You love Brett Manning? I figured you would, because you're also very into inking and stuff. So yeah, have you purchased any of her merch? Like from a store? Sarah, if you could drop a link to just post a picture of one of your latest pieces, I would really love to see that. That would be awesome. So we are just in the process of finishing my Humpty Dumpty's first page, which is, so we've done Humpty's face. You guys can probably remember the previous one we did with the curved wall and Mrs. Spider saying hello, Humpty falling over. So now we're doing page 1, before he's fallen, before he's met Mr. Spider. Hello, Sketch, how are you doing? Okay, you're in. How's it going? It's going great, Sarah. We just did a shout out for you, and I asked you to drop a link to your latest piece if you can. How are you doing, Sketch? Haven't talked to you in a while. Haven't purchased any of her work yet, but planning to. I bet. Isn't it sad that her work got so stolen lately? Like, that's just awful. You come back and you leave me again? What a dear little ruler. Thank you. Yeah, it is so cute and small, isn't it? Very pretty. It was so cheap. It was like $5 or something off Etsy. Really, really cheap. If you want one, let me know in Discord and I can drop you the link to the store that sells them. Yeah, Sarah, if you can drop a link to your work, just post it in Discord, I can have a look. But yeah, drop a link to your Instagram account. We've already done a shout out for you. Really, really love your work, Sarah. it's a shame that people are so willing to take artists' work for themselves like that. You hope she's gotten it figured out. Yeah, so do I. Well, I know Camilla Derrico. She also got her work stolen recently, and she hired a lawyer, so I really hope for her sake that she gets to the bottom of it, because somebody needs to take on these thieves, you know? I mean, who steals from artists? We already have it so hard. Your hardware has been giving you a hard time. Situation normal, in other words. That's not good. Is it your computer or your cameras? Yeah, isn't it a struggle, Sketch? It's so hard. So sorry to hear that, because yeah, I haven't seen you streaming for ages. I also have been a little bit more absent from Twitch recently, but, you know, I still check who's online. Yeah, it's a shame that your hardware has been giving you a hard time. You're very stubborn. How are you very stubborn? Have you still been trying to stream throughout it, or what's been happening? I feel like my phone just buzzed just then. I hope I'm still going, like, you know, maybe I can go from the top now that I'm closer to the top and keep it vertical. These are gonna be a literal nightmare to, you know, to render up. Okay, thanks, Neka. You love my little Humpty drawing. So cute. You have a link for painting you're working on, although it's hard to get a photo and have the darks dark. Okay. Well, if you manage to get a photo of it, please drop it in Discord and let me know when you're done. Otherwise, you know, would you like to drop a link to your Instagram page? And then we could have a look at that. Because I'd love to show everybody your work. For all of those who aren't familiar with what you do. I will just be right back, guys. Give me one sec. My mum's just gotten home. Hello guys, sorry about the quick break. My mum's just gotten home, so I'm probably going to try and find somebody we can raid because I feel like I've made good progress today. You know, I've done a lot. We've finished off pretty much the whole wall, so it's looking really good. And if you remember, this was the thumbnail we planned out. So it's definitely looking very, very good. I'm really happy. You missed it! Oh, Dev, thank you for stopping by. I'm so sorry you missed it. We will be back on Monday anyway. We could raid Professor S. Huntington. She has just started her stream. Do I not follow her? I don't think I follow her. That would be awesome. Let us raid her. Zazie talking, exactly. Is that her, hang on. She's an Aussie that does chalk art. I think I've, like, briefly seen her stream before, but I've never been on it, so. Let us rate her. Thanks for the suggestion, Ren. Awesome suggestion. I'll show you guys quickly before we stop. This is how big it is. I mean, look at what we accomplished today. It is looking amazing. I'm so happy. Nice and big, and hopefully over the next few weeks, because it's gonna be weeks, we will finish this one. And then we've got some few more to go. Yeah, got my work cut out for me. I definitely do. Definitely do. My book's looking awesome. Hang in there. Thank you. I hope so. But yeah, let us go and raid Professor Huntington. That would be awesome. The peace that his voice brings and the delicacy of his drawings makes you really want to go back to drawing. Who are you talking about? NECA raid, exactly. We need to come up with like a raid message of our own. I actually had something in mind the other day and then I just forgot. So hopefully if I just think about it again, it'll come to me. Anyways, we will raid. And I will see you guys over on Professor Huntington's stream. And yeah, hopefully on Monday we can have another stream. So I will talk to you guys soon. See you all over there. Bye.